Hello, everyone. We'll get started in a couple minutes here, giving everybody just a
Yes.
couple minutes to join. As soon as see everything is on live, we'll go ahead and get started. It is 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Are we all set and ready to go? All right. Um, Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Sudanese community here in Greater Lansing, I'd like to welcome all of our students, parents, and guests. Today's seminar is an opportunity to learn from professionals who have dedicated their careers to serving others and improving the health of their communities. Our panelist, our first one, is a registered nurse who holds a bachelor's of science in nursing and has more than 10 years of nursing experience. She has cared for patients from many different backgrounds and has seen firsthand how education, prevention, and compassion can change lives. Thank you for joining us today, Hikma. Hikma Musa. Thank you. And our next guest is an accomplished physician who has dedicated years to caring for patients and improving health outcomes. Today, we'll learn about the path of becoming a doctor and the challenges and rewards of medicine and what our community can do to live healthier lives. I'm going to just say a short bio from this amazing friend of mine here. Dr. Nadir G. Abdelrahman is a assistant professor in geriatric medicine. He has expertise in treating dementia, hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and other chronic conditions that affect older patients. He is the founder of Telegeriatric Research Fellowship Program that empowers medical and dental graduates coming to the US from overseas. He is the medical director of Holt Senior Care and Rehab Center. Dr. Abdelrahman is the chair for the Greater Lansing Sudanese Association, which is also supporting this seminar. And I'd like to, before welcoming them, I will be your moderator today. My name is Banjor Musa, and I have the amazing privilege of being the moderator today. And I hold a Master's of Art in International Development. All right, let's get right into it if we can. With that, let's go. Let's begin by getting to know you to a little bit better. Tell us a little about yourself. I want to first start with Hikma. Tell us a little bit about your nursing journey. What inspires you to become a nurse?
Hello everyone. أنا اسمي حكمة. الفكي موسى. وأنا أولا بشكر ربنا من أجل الفرصة دي. Also I want to thank the Sudanese community committee in Greater Lansing for this opportunity to be able to speak about my career in nursing. So yeah, like I said, my name is Hikma. I am 33 years old. I currently hold a bachelor's of science in nursing, and I graduated back in 2016. But before then, I obviously am a child of immigrant parents that moved here in 2000 from Sudan. I'm the youngest of six children. And so I'm used to being around a lot of personalities. And so I think that's kind of where my characteristics of resilience comes from, just being able to navigate different characters in the household. So I moved here when I was 8 years old. So I was pretty young. I started the second grade. So it kind of gave me a kind of good perspective being able to grow up a little bit in Sudan, and then coming here while young. So I was able to kind of integrate pretty easily coming at a young age. And so I think that's what has helped me with my education here in the United States. And like I said, I'm happy to be here and thank you again for this opportunity to be able to speak.
I appreciate you. Thank you, حكمة. شكرا. أنا هسه ندي فرصة للدكتور عبد الرحمن. If there's anything I didn't mention, كان في حاجة عايز تزيدوا, if there's something you want to include from your bio, your vast experience, you can go ahead so we can get to know you better and hear from you as well. Welcome, Dr. Abdelrahman.
Welcome, and thank you so much for inviting me to this great event. I hope this will help as many as possible our kids. السلام عليكم. مرحبا. نبدأ إن شاء الله ندوة وتكون مساعدة لأبنائنا وبناتنا إن شاء الله في المستقبل القريب إن شاء الله. طيب بالنسبة للسيرة الذاتية، أنا اسمي نادر جلال عبد الرحمن. تخرجت من جامعة جزيرة في السودان، وعملت بعض الوقت في السودان، وذهبت على هولندا، ومن هناك أتيت إلى الولايات المتحدة. I came here to the US to continue my medical education training and get advanced in medicine. So I started with some research work here in the US, and then I joined the clinical training. I started in New Jersey, and then I moved to Lansing. I finished my training in general medicine. I became an internist, and then I did a fellowship in geriatric medicine, which is like treating older people with chronic conditions like diabetes and hypertension and so on. So القصة بتاعتي عبارة عن مشوار بديته في السودان ونهيته هنا في أمريكا، والحمد لله اتوفقت في التعليم والتدريب حتى أصبحت طبيب هنا في أمريكا، والآن التخصص بتاعي في طب الشيخوخة. شكرا.
شكرا دكتور نادر. انت دائما بتقصر I would like to stick with you still, and I would like to ask you a question I think a lot of youth are asking as well. How long does it take to become a doctor? If you can answer that, and then we'll go on to Hikma for the next question.
So to become a doctor, it needs dedication first of all, and it needs steps and preparation, and taking it step by step. The duration here in the US, it varies between 10-11 years up to 16, 17 years. But usually, after you finish high school, you do a 4-year, what they call pre-med, and then you go to the medical school. Most of the medical school also they have 4 years, so this is total 8 years to become a doctor in training. To become a full doctor, you have to finish a training program. It's called residency. Most of the time, it's 3 years. So total will be 8 plus 3, 11. And then after that, if you want to specialize in certain area, you may add a few years, 1 to 3 to 7 years, depending on what specialty. In surgery, it takes longer. In neurosurgery, it takes longer. So,
Thank you, Shukran. Thank you for your response, and I appreciate your response. So with that, I'm going to go ahead to Hikma Musa. If you could go back and speak to your high school self, what advice would you give, talking about just experiences and how long it takes to be a nurse as well?
So the advice I would give myself in high school would just to be, don't overthink things. If you have something, a passion, and that you're thinking about, go ahead and pursue it. Don't doubt yourself. Just do it, because doubting, it kind of causes like a lot of missed years. It takes time away from opportunities that you may have in front of you. So I would advise myself definitely to don't overthink and to don't doubt, and just to go ahead and pursue the passions that I have in front of me.
Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your journey. I think many of our students can see that every career begins with a decision and willingness to learn and keep learning as well. Let's talk about what life is actually like as a nurse now, if we can. So what does a typical day look like for you as a registered nurse?
So a typical day for me, I currently have a role as a home care nurse or home health nurse. And so I am more in charge of my schedule. So I first started out, as soon as I graduated from nursing school, I went to a nursing home, and I did that for about 6 months. And then I transitioned over to inpatient. So I worked in the hospital for about 3 years on a neurosurgery floor. And it was really good. I got to learn a lot of my nursing skills in that time frame. But unfortunately, I burned out within those 3 years. And so I started to transition to more outpatient, and that has been a better fit for me. I've done a lot of clinic work, and I actually used to live in Nashville. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I moved to Lansing, Michigan. I think we've been here almost 3 years now. And so when I transitioned over to Michigan, I started doing home health nursing, and it has been a little bit difficult, just because it's more so you're making your own schedule, and I wasn't really used to that. Used to just going in, clocking in, doing what I'm told, and then, you know, clocking out and just going home and forgetting about the day. But with home health nursing, you're constantly thinking about your patients, because you have to see them on a weekly basis. Some of them you see once or even 3 times a week, just depending on the acuity of their health. So typically, on a daily basis, I start my day around 9 o'clock or so. I see my patients, and usually I try to schedule them a day out. So I have my planner. I know who I'm going to, and usually with home health nursing, they give you a specific demographic or a specific area that's near your kind of address, but sometimes you may have to drive a little bit further. And so you have to be flexible in that aspect. But so essentially, I'll go see my patient. It's about a 30 to 40 minute, just depending on what kind of care they need. A lot of my patients require like wound care. because of chronic diseases like venous insufficiency or diabetes. So they develop wounds. And so a lot of these patients require wound care about once or twice a week. So I do that in the home. And then obviously I have to communicate with doctors, updating them on anything that may be of concerning. If their vitals are off, I have to communicate that with their primary care doctors. And actually, fun fact, I actually have a few of Dr. Nadir's patients. I saw that he referred them to my home care agency. So that's pretty cool to be able to work with him, but not necessarily like hand in hand, but I can follow through and see his patients in the home. So that's been really cool. So I usually, like I said, I see them for about 30 to 40 minutes. And typically I have about a case of 4 to 6 patients in a day. It's flexible in the sense of sometimes I can finish around 1 o'clock. Sometimes the days go longer. And typically the latest I'll kind of finish off with charting and everything will probably be around 5. So about a 9 to 5 job. So it's pretty nice growing into it. And it's actually helped me find my passion. I figured that I really love working with the elderly. The geriatric population has been a passion that I didn't think I was really into, but this job definitely has opened up that door. So I think I'm future wise definitely going to pursue more career in the geriatric world, like Dr. Nadir is right now. So yeah, so that's a typical day for me in the home health field.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to stick with you for maybe a couple more questions, if you don't mind. If you need a break, let me know, and we can jump to Dr. Nadir. And feel free, Dr. Nadir, if you want something, if you want to add something or want to chime in something, please let me know, and we can go to you as well. So at least maybe 2 or so questions. So my next question, you might have responded a little bit to that, but maybe combine the questions. What are some of the most rewarding moments you've experienced during your 10 years in nursing? And maybe to kind of add to that a little bit too, like what are also some of the challenges? Like what are challenging things that you also experience and what lessons have you learned from taking care of your patients?
So yeah, that's an excellent question. I think I'll start off with challenges because those are kind of the things that kind of help you to grow in your career. Those challenges help you to kind of get out of your comfort zone. And I think my biggest challenge with nursing has been just to be more compassionate. It's so easy to once you start doing, nursing and like every day that you're doing it, your compassion kind of decreases, which is it sounds a little bit um, concerning, but um, once it's becoming routine, you kind of forget like you are actually working with humans. They're not just um, people that don't have families, don't have people that love them, and so the challenge is to wake up and to be intentional, to be compassionate with every single patient that you come across, which is it takes a lot of intentionality to do that. And it's something that you have to actually constantly work on a daily basis. So I think that's been my biggest challenge is to treat these people as if they're your own family, essentially. Which kind of leads me into what's been rewarding with nursing is that, like I said, these patients kind of become like family. And with nursing, you see people at their lowest, most vulnerable moments. Sometimes, I recall when I was working in the hospital, some patients didn't have like any family or friends visiting them, and they'd be in the hospital for months or sometimes like even over years, just with chronic diseases. And they kind of grow and become like your friends and your family. And it's been rewarding to be able to be there for people during their most vulnerable times. So the lessons I have taken for sure have been to just to be more resilient and to look at my own health and to be able to help my own family in the situations that I see firsthand with my patients. I don't want my family or my friends or my loved ones to go through those. So I try to help my close ones with just anything as far as I see as like, with the diseases that I see, I try to be more preventative and try to educate my community in those things. So those are the lessons that I've taken with me.
Thank you. I'm going to stick with you one more question, and then I'll go ahead to Dr. Nadir, if that's all right. So, with my next question here, this is to be able to help anyone that's listening and any students that's considering being a nurse. What qualities make someone successful in nursing besides having good grades?
Yes. Oh, that this is a great question. I think the biggest quality to be a nurse is to be a critical thinker. You have to be able to critically think and think outside of the box because sometimes things are not as they seem. That you have to dig deeper to kind of um, understand why this person is going through what they're going through. And I think in nursing school, they really focus on being a critical thinker. If you're not already, it's something that you can obviously work on and become better at. But it definitely helps if you go into nursing school already having that quality. So I think critical thinking and obviously being resilient too. You have to be able to bounce back pretty quickly. One day you may have a patient pass. You have to be able to come back to work the next day, or you have to continue your shift knowing that your patient next door has passed away, but you have to go take care of your other patients. So resilience is also a very big skill that you have to have. Being able to kind of compartmentalize your emotions, separate personal things from work. That's a big thing too. I think that's probably the third thing, being able to separate personal life from your work life so they don't mix. So I would say critical thinking, resilient, and being able to separate personal life from work life.
Thank you. Thank you, Nurse Hikma Musa. Next, I'd like to move to Dr. Nadir, talking about balance and things like that. I have an interesting question for you. Can doctors have a good work-life balance? I think you're on mute.
Thank you. Thanks for the question. And again, it's interesting question because early in the training time period, it's difficult to combine any activity beside your work because you are under pressure and the first 1 or 2 years you will be focusing on your training and your education, your preparation for the board exam. After that, life will get easier, and depending on what specialty, what's your setting. So if you have a clinic, you will be from 9 to 5, for example, 8 to 5, and after 5 maybe you will stay longer, 6, 7, but after that you will spend the time with your family, or the weekends will be available. However, if you take the specialty like surgery or some other specialty that demand presence and procedures, then your life balance will be a little bit tending to the work, because you will be asked to come to the operation room, for example, urgently, or stay longer at the hospital, and so on. So it depends on what specialty and how you set up your daily work balance or plan. So for me, I am a geriatrician, and one of the things that I liked about being able to treat older patients is the flexibility. So I can spend some time with my family, I can work, I can do homework, I can do telemedicine, and so on. So it's kind of very flexible for me, and it's interesting. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you for that response. I think it's very helpful and enlightening. So I'd like to transition now. Hearing those experiences reminds us that, for example, nursing is much more than a career. It's really a calling centered on service and compassion. I'd like to shift our conversation toward health of our families and our community. So I'd like to first ask maybe whoever wants to take this, Hikma wants to go, great. What are some of the most common health issues you see that could be prevented through healthy habits?
I'll let Dr. Nadir answer this, and I can echo if I need to.
So there are two areas: the physical component or the mental component. So الأمراض الجسدية والأمراض بالنسبة للعقل والأمراض الأخرى. بالنسبة للphysical, we go for the heart problems and stroke and chronic conditions that can be causing or contributing. Let's say heart attack is number one. So in our community or in general in the public area, we want to prevent that as much as we can. So we need more education in this area. Stroke is also a big problem. So if we can prevent that. Some of the chronic conditions that contribute to both is hypertension. So if we can control hypertension, control the blood sugar as well, diabetes, these are two major chronic conditions. And usually if you control it, hopefully you will prevent major problem like heart issue and stroke. The major problem that prevent other consequences and conditions is smoking. So smoking can affect any part of your body. So if we can educate our kids, our next generation, to stop smoking, vaping, anything that causes harm to your body, because it can affect your lungs, can affect any part, it can lead to multiple conditions and cancer, for example. So these are the major physical. The mental part, I think, coming to the US, whether you are immigrant, whether refugees, whether you are coming to training and education and so on, the lifestyle here is very stressful. Nowadays, things are getting tougher. Policies are made to stress all of our community. So I assume there's a lot of stress and a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, and these need to be addressed and handled, and we need some people to help in this area as well. So, Hikma, if you want to add, please.
Yes, I want to echo more so on the stress. So I think autoimmune diseases. There's been an uptick of a lot of autoimmune diseases like Crohn's, and diabetes can also fall into that a little bit. But stress definitely leads to these autoimmune diseases, and I think in our community especially, that's kind of a big thing that we don't really talk about. And stress, it's not just a mental thing. It eventually will lead to your physical body reacting to that high amount of stress. So we need to talk about ways we can reduce stress. And I know it's hard. You know, everyone has to work. We have busy lives. We have to provide for our families. And that's all very, very stressful. You think about your family back in Sudan as well, trying to send them money and the war. So just if there's a way that we can try to balance and try to reduce that stress to be able to reduce our chances of getting these autoimmune diseases. I think that's something that definitely needs to be addressed in the Sudanese community.
Thank you. Those are very thoughtful responses, and I appreciate the examples. I want to dig a little bit deeper, though. If every Sudanese family adopted 3 healthy habits starting this week, what would you recommend, Hikma?
Um, I can't think of three, but the biggest one that I want people to take a little bit more serious is to um, just go to the doctor. I mean, it's easy to say, but we all kind of get caught up in life and work and the business and just and we kind of forget to and neglect our health. And the biggest thing is to just sometimes you just got to go in the doctor and see what's going on with your body, just a physical. Um, at least every 6 months, we have to get checked out. And that way we kind of start to prevent the things early on. Sometimes if you catch something early, you'll be able to treat it better. And so I think if we can just as a community be more mindful about just visiting the doctor on a routine basis, even the dentist going on a routine basis. And if we do that, our kids will learn to be able to take their health a little bit more serious too. So I think that's my biggest advice would be to just go in to see the doctor on a routine basis.
I'm going to stick with you unless Dr. Nader, you want to chime in. All right. So I'd like to move on to mental health and thank you for your response. Mental health is becoming an important conversation. How can parents support their children's emotional well-being while also taking care of their own?
Sometimes it just takes simple conversation. I think there's a lot of stigma around mental health, especially in our community. We don't talk about the hard things, we sweep things under the rug. And so, if we just come together, maybe it starts in the home. Obviously, if we can just check in with our kids, if you're married, check in with your spouse after work and just see where they are mentally and just slowly just start having those little conversations and to see where those lead. And then especially with our kids that grew up here, some were born here, I think there's a big gap between how our parents were raised and how we were raised here in the US. And so if we can find a way to bridge that gap, to be able to have that conversation about mental health in a way where it's healthy for both the kids and the parents. I think that will be very, very useful. But I definitely do think it starts with the parents being able to start having those difficult conversations early on.
I appreciate it. Thank you for those practical suggestions. Um, we can go ahead if um, Dr. Nadir, we can go ahead and transition if we wanted to, just like some of the things that we can be applying immediately. Before we conclude, I'd like to focus specifically on the young people who are here today. So what opportunities are available in nursing and healthcare for students who may be interested? Hikma.
So there's obviously a lot of opportunities in the healthcare field. I am a firm believer that healthcare is the career of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There's no end in sight for healthcare. And I will specifically speak into nursing. I think for me personally, I went into nursing because um, essentially I wanted to become a doctor. I went in as a biology major, but I ended up changing because I just didn't want to go to school for 8+ years. And so nursing was a better fit for me. It's a 4-year program. There's also a 2-year program for those that just want to quickly get their feet in with nursing. So definitely, there's a lot of opportunities in the healthcare field, and I advise the youth to definitely get into it, because it's like I said, there's no end in sight for healthcare. We're always going to need healthcare workers. You'll be financially stable. You'll be able to build yourself. You'll be able to help your family. And so I think it's a really great field to go into. But obviously, just don't do it for the money. You have to have passion for wanting to help people. And so if you don't have that, don't go into it with the wrong reasons or wrong motives.
Thank you for that answer, and I appreciate you your recommendation for the youth. I think you mentioned something important, and I'd like to have Dr. Nadir possibly chime in a little bit on that. Can I major in something other than biology? For example, to be a doctor, can students do that?
Yeah, the important part is if you are interested in certain college, just monitor what's the requirements. So you can major in any specialty or area, but some colleges like medical school, for example, they want you to take certain classes that will be a must take, compulsory for you. Otherwise, you can major in any other, like you can do neuroscience, you can do. I have a student who finished engineering and came to the medical school. So when you are in the college and you can change from one subject to another, from one major to another, it depends on what's your interest. It depends, and you can see what requirement the college that you want to pursue. Thank you.
So I'm gonna stick with you, Dr. Nader. What GPA do you need for medical degree or for medical school?
So again, every school is different. In the past, they focused on the GPA, but more and more schools tend to not go away primarily, but they consider more things, 7 or 8 or 10 things in addition to the GPA. So, for example, they want you to be academically strong, so 3.5 and above, that will be considered okay. So as you close as 4, if you get 4, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. I know we have some parents that are listening in as well. Can you give examples of maybe some of the things that they can do to help their students, or maybe going back again to good work-life balance? And I'd just like to hear more examples of that. I know a lot of people are interested in the medical field, but it is very hard, and it's something that needs a lot of encouragement. So if you can just share a few more examples, and as we're starting to wrap up and have some questions at the end here.
I'll go first. So basically, as a parent, I think the most important thing is to see what's the interest of your kid. It's the passion that drives them. So you don't want to push them to medicine if they are interested in, let's say, engineering or art or something else. If they come to you and they wanted to pursue medical education, then there are certain things that you want to discuss or guide or help or encourage. So one of the things that they can do during the summer, for example, they can do some volunteering, expose themselves to the medical environment. They can go to hospital, do volunteering, simple things. and they can go to nursing home to just helping with the dining, helping with simple activities to see how they can help patients and how the other team are working. For example, nursing, what do they do? Physician, dietitian, and so on. If they like that, then they can continue. If they say, oh, this is not for me, then early on they can decide to go to something else. The other thing is also if they are able, in addition to the academic, be involved in either the community activities, helping others, giving hands to, if they are high school, maybe they can train younger kids about whatever activities, soccer, basketball, or something that can help. If there are some people don't speak the English, they can help translate or educate, something like that. Or I saw in other countries they can help online, so even you don't have to actually physically help people in your place. In Lansing, for example, you can help Sudanese in Sudan, in Africa, or in other places. It depends on your passion and what you want to offer. These are three things, but there are more. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hikma, you can add on to that, but I also like to ask, what words of encouragement would you give to students who may doubt whether they can achieve their dreams, whether in the medical field or in dreams in life?
I spoke to this earlier. If I had advice for my high school self, I would definitely less doubt, more assurance, just to be confident in yourself and be confident in your decisions. Even if you, for whatever reason, you fail in that decision, just being able to learn from that, fall, and to get up and to go back and give it your all. I think that would be the best thing that you can do for yourself. It's just to not stop because you fell or you failed in something. And it's human nature. We doubt ourselves, but if we also build on our confidence, I think that helps to balance with that doubting that we may have. So definitely just not being able to give up on yourself, because a lot of people will give up on you down the line, but you have to pick yourself up, so.
I agree. Thank you so much. And I think there's a lot of opportunities here in our state of Michigan to be able to take advantage of the resources that are available. And with that, I want to thank you. Your experiences and encouragements are a reminder that success comes through preparation, perseverance, and a heart for serving others. I'd like to end with a final question. If everyone here in this room remembered only one message today from today's conversation, if they remembered one message, what would you hope that message would be?
I think one takeaway I want everyone to take from today's webinar is the healthcare field needs more people like us. We need more, specifically Sudanese, young people in this field, because if you were to go to the hospital or the clinic, we don't have a lot of representation. And so I guess it's very easy. If you don't see it, you don't want to really pursue it. But there's a need for people like us. We need to, as parents, do better to expose our kids, I think, to this field, rather than just telling them, go be a doctor or go be a nurse. Actually expose them, see what their interests are, like Dr. Nadir said, and see what their true passions are, so we can actually get them into this healthcare field. So I think that's the biggest takeaway. I think we need to really have more representation in this field.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Dr. Nadir, same question to you. If you had one last message for everyone here in the room, what would you hope that message would be? Something that they can take away with them today.
So for our kids, I'd like to encourage them to do your best and find out your calling, your inspiration, your really love for what you want to become. You may find that now, you may find it in the future. So seek that out, identify that. And for the parents, I'd like to really encourage them to support, encourage, and push as much as hard as possible these kids. There are a lot of good opportunities. Financial issue might not be a greater big problem if you seek the right resources. And last week, I think we talked about possible scholarships and support for those who really interested in pursuing their careers, either here in the medical field, medicine, dental, nursing, you name it, because really there are a great needs for healthcare worker, whatever your interest is.
Thank you both so much for sharing your time, your experiences, and your wisdom with us today. I know our students, parents, and community members have learned a great deal from your journey and your advice. Again, thank you for joining us today for our first seminar, Empowering the Future Generation Through Education, supported by the Sudanese community members and professionals. This first seminar hopes to empower our community members. So with that, I want to make sure that we have some time to be able to ask, hear from you as well, if there are any questions that are available and ready for me to read out and have our speakers speak on, that would be great. So please, I'm going to go see here. If Mahasin, if you are able as well, you can also chime in. If there are any questions that are available and ready for me to read out and have our speakers speak on, that would be great. So please, I'm going to go see here. If Mahasin, if you are able as well, you can also. If there are any questions.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So with that, let me see if there are some questions. I may need some assistance regarding the questions here being read out loud. Hassan, are you able to possibly let me know some questions or put it on the chat?
I'd like to add one more thing, that this will be recorded and hopefully we can share it with some of the community members here. And because some might be working, some might be not available at this time to ask questions. But in the future, we will be happy to answer any questions, help our kids navigate the system here. And also in the future, we will be holding a similar event. So in case you have question down the road in the future when you watching this video, maybe you can reach one of the group here or the committee, the Sudanese Association in Greater Lansing. لو عندكم أسئلة ممكن لو ما موجودين الآن ممكن تتصلوا على اللجنة بالنسبة للجالية في السودانية في لانسينج. شكرا.
Thank you for that. And I don't currently see any questions. If somebody does see a question or so, please let me know, so we can go ahead and make sure that they are answered before we get out. We have about 8 minutes. We can go ahead.
So there is one question.
Okay.
Tell us about how you handled your mental health while going through your journey with all the stress and responsibilities. So I will leave the chance for Hikma, and I will comment afterward.
Thank you, Dr. Nadir.
Can you repeat the question? I don't know if it was clear on my end.
So tell us how you handled your mental health while going through the challenges of your journey with all the stress and responsibilities.
So I mentioned earlier that I burned out when I was working inpatient. So don't do like I did. I was putting my worth into work. I was overworking because of some personal things. And eventually, obviously, that was not the best thing for myself. So I quickly learned that you do have to separate, your personal life from your work life. So being able to have a balance between those two and finding something that's more flexible and better for your mental health, which for me, it took for me to go to outpatient to know that, okay, this is a better fit for my career and for my mental health overall, to be able to do this. I think that that's the best way I went about it. But obviously, later on in my career, I realized that you have to be more intentional and finding things that bring you happiness. And that could be, your faith life, pouring into that. And it could be just finding just little things in the mundane life around you to help you to be able to better navigate situations that you may experience in work. So, so for me, definitely being able to separate work and personal life and just finding things through my faith that help me to just kind of bounce back whenever I feel like I'm down in the dumps. So I think that's what's helped me.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dr. Nadir. I found the questions, so I'm going to go ahead and if there's anybody with any other questions before I let Dr. Nadir respond to that too, or add anything, we can go ahead and post them on the YouTube. And again, this is recorded, so and you have access to us if you need any information or anything like that. Please, about the speakers or anything like that, you feel free to reach out to them. If you feel comfortable, our two speakers here, you can put an email down that people possibly can reach out to you. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let Dr. Nadir respond.
Thank you so much. Going to the medical field, you will face a lot of challenges, a lot of stress and responsibilities in your life. So I think, as Hikman mentioned, and there are different components, that tools or things that you can do. Spiritual life, if you're Muslim, for example, you can pray. Christian can also contribute to that as well. Seeking advice, always ask for help. It's not you do everything yourself. There are times when you have to divide and see what you can do and what you can ask others to do to help you complete the task. Vent, just talk to your friends, family members about your life in general. Get into other activities. If you like to walk, take a walk. If you like to run, play. For me, I like to play soccer, for example. I used to draw calligraphy, and see this during medical school seems to help. So there are different ways of handling or putting the stress down a little bit. But as Hikma mentioned, down the road you may end up in a situation working 24 hours and too much stress. So think of alternative. You don't have to live your life under the stress for a long period. If it's required, like I went through the training in residency, the first year usually is the very difficult one. So if you have to do it, do it, but think about there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So just finish it. After you complete it, things will go easier. But if you find yourself in a working situation where your boss or the environment is just toxic for you, you cannot handle it, think about changing that when you are there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nadir, for your responses. We do have several other questions that we can respond to as many as we can here. I have one specific question for Hikma, and then we'll try to get to as many questions as we can. The first question for Hikma specifically is, are you self-employed and or do you work for an agency?
So currently, I do work for an agency. I don't foresee myself doing self-employment just because I don't want the hassle of being able to do taxes and stuff like that for myself. So I prefer to work under an agency, but maybe as I grow into this career, because I'm fairly new into home care right now, I'll make it to a year in November. So I'm still learning kind of the ins and outs of it. So yeah, but the short answer is I work for an agency right now.
Thank you, Hikma. With that, I know we have just some time for a few more questions here. Next question is, are there available grants or scholarship for medical field careers? And this question can go to Dr. Nadir if you have run you have a fellowship. Go ahead.
Yes. So usually when you go to the pre-med, for example, finishing high school, you go to pre-med, and there are a lot of scholarships, and you can seek the FIFSA or other grants. So there are process of getting or applying to these scholarships and grants, and also help for finishing your pre-med. As far as the medical school, also there are some medical schools that can help, and what you can do is you can seek this in advance, see which medical school can offer scholarship and so on. Sometimes you can be accepted right away. You can do the 8 years pre-med and med in one school. If that's the case, it's gonna be very helpful to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that response. And I have another question here. I don't know if Hikma, you have anything to add to that, but I'll go ahead and because of time, we can go ahead and ask the next question. Can we talk about the importance of research for students seeking medical school? I think this question is for you, Dr. Nadir.
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, there are different components when you are applying to the medical school. One of them showing that you are interested in the medical, in general medical field. So one of them is research. So if you are in high school, even at some point, even before that, if you are able to participate in simple research activities, and then you can build on that. With COVID, this become easier to get, so you can do research online. So for example, you can do biology, some activities where they can send you a kit, and then through the telemedicine you can talk, you can have your Zoom meeting, and then you can show them what you did and so on. And you can write this as abstract, submit it to conferences, and present it as posters. Some might even write papers out of their work. So you just put your foot one step, and then you can have some support, and then you can pursue, or you can take it step by step. But it's very important that you show that you are interested in medical field. Doing a research will help you show that. Other component like becoming a leader. For example, in high school there are some clubs, so you can join some of these clubs and help your students get involved in some of the activities. If you don't find a club that represent you, or have the goals that you have in mind, create your own club. Make invitation to some of the students. You might find some of the students in your same interest in your area, so maybe you can do that and then build that and be a leader. Helping your community is also one of the things that show in your application. So there are different components. We can talk about that in the future. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your response. As we're ending our call here, if there's anyone that has any final question they would like to ask, please let me know. And I think there might be a comment here on the YouTube channel. Maybe I'll read it. It's specifically to you, Dr. Nader. Would you like to respond, or just read the comment?
So thank you. One of the question was for medical graduate who came from Sudan. So I gave her the link in the YouTube. So she or he was asking about how to join the telemedicine and geriatric fellowship. So we have a process where there is an application, and then we can help.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I don't see any other questions on here.
Hey, Binder. I do have a question, but I don't know. I didn't add my question to the YouTube channel.
All right.
If I can add my question very quick, and I respect the time. Okay. So thank you all for all you have presented today, Hikma and Dr. Nadir. And I just would like to say thank you to Hikma for being like an example. I also want her to use that herself as an example to encourage other Sudanese women to start their like future career. Let me switch to Arabic to make it a little bit also, everyone can find themselves here. I think يعني نحن في جيل كبير من النساء خاصة. أنا شايفة يعني النساء عموما بيفضلوا التخصص بتاع التمريض أكتر حاجة، يعني حتى ما من السودانيين، يعني من كل الجنسيات، نسبة لأنه نحن أصلا يعني الله ربنا كده خلقنا كير جيفرز أصلا. فالحاجة دي إحنا لو كلنا استغليناها في إنه الناس بتجي من السودان أو من أي يعني دول تانية بيكونوا ضايعين، قد يكون عندهم degrees هناك. وكان good question لدكتور نادر بالنسبة للموضوع بتاع الميديكال. يعني ناس جايين بخلفية بتاعت أطباء من already هم أطباء من برا أمريكا وجايين هنا ما عارفين يواصلوا الحاجة دي. يا حبذا لو يتعمل سيمينار منفصل للناس ديل عشان يقدروا يواصلوا الكارير بتاعهم بالشكل الصحيح، وتتقدم لهم النصائح والتوجيهات الممكنة يا دكتور نادر. أما بالنسبة لحكمة، يا ريت لو يعني تكلمتي لنا شوية في إن شاء الله كلمة ولا كلمتين للنساء اللي بيكونوا هنا موجودين، كيف يقدروا يواصلوا تعليمهم ويعملوا degrees while they are moms, while they are doing other stuff. And that's all. Thank you.
Great
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, shukran, Mahasin. That is actually, I feel like it's a very big topic to speak on. But as a woman, as a Sudanese woman, I think it's very important that we have our own careers um, outside of kind of just being moms and daughters. I think we often neglect ourselves as women in this community. So to be able to have a career that you are proud of, I think it's very important. Um, and like you said, Mahasan, women, we are natural caregivers. So going into a career like nursing is almost a no-brainer because it just comes naturally to be able to care for people and not necessarily them being your own family. So I have two kids. I have a 4-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old, 15-month-old son. So it gets difficult to be able to juggle being a mother and a full-time nurse, but it's so rewarding for me. And I think what made it easier for me is because I started my career before I had kids, and that's not going to be, the same for everyone. There are some, women that have kids that are young, and if you're feeling like you need to just do something, there's not just nursing, but you can look into medical assistant, which is just a certificate that you can get. I think it's like a 6 month program or so. And it's actually very a good career to go into just if your English is, okay. I think the biggest thing with the medical field is the charting, which it gets really hard to be able to pick up on that. But as far as the technical skills, I think we pick up on those pretty easily. It's just putting more so effort in learning the English language and being able to be more technical savvy. That's what would I would advise the women in our community to do. And if your kids are of age, high school or so, get them involved in helping you get into this field too, because you're not only helping yourself, but you're going to be setting an example for your own children too. Once your kids see you doing better for yourself, that'll encourage them as well to want to do even better than what you are doing. So definitely be the example that you want your kids to be. So, like I said, as Sudanese women, we definitely have to find our own identities outside of the home, outside of being a wife and a mother. And I think going into anything in the medical or healthcare field would be very, very beneficial.
I'd like to add to that. Thank you so much, Hikma. And one of the things that you can do, as mentioned, medical assistant, it may take you 4 months or up to 2 years if you want to take it short courses. You can have some support, and some facilities may pay for you to become a nurse assistant. And personally, I saw some of the medical assistant, they called certified medical assistant or nurse aide, where they worked on these facilities that I go to, and they continued learning. They went to nursing school, they become a nurse, and now they join the same facility, they become a nurse in this facility. So it's as you mentioned, it's rewarding. There is always a chance for everyone to continue the education. You may find some support, but it depends on you. You want to work hard and take it small steps. You can take one class at a time. If you are busy, you have kids, then you can add more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nadir, and thank you, Nurse Hikma. I appreciate your response as we conclude here, and I don't see any other questions except if you feel comfortable, you can let me know. I can go ahead, or Dr. Nader can put both of your emails on there for people to connect with you. I've also added the Lansing Sudanese community email as well. If anybody has any certain questions that they want to include, and they can send it there, and we'll try to get answers for. Thank you again for taking your time to be able to share your expertise and your personal stories and your time. Thank you, Dr. Nadir and Hikma Musa. I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon if you're watching live now. Thank you, Dr. Nadir, for putting your email there. So with that, Hikma, did you wanted to say something? I see you're not on mute.
The last thing I just wanted to conclude with, just kind of echoing what Dr. Nader said, is you're never too old for school. Just continue. I think a lot of the moms and the dads in this community, we think our age is kind of where we should stop. Like school is only for just for younger people. And I just want to tell you that it's not. You can go to school lifelong. Education is lifelong. There are people that are well into their 60s, 70s that are in school. So don't limit yourself is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and add the email here for people to be able to send any questions. With that, again, I appreciate you all. If that's all, have a great rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you in the next one, the next seminar, Seminar 2. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.